Since the premiere of the Future Trunks arc in Dragon Ball Super episode 47, the question has been, who is Black? Who is Goku Black? And with Dragon Ball Super episode 53, we have a plethora of new clues and hints given to us by series creator Akira Toriyama, as well as series director Morio Hatano, about what the true identity of Goku Black is, and a lot of people seem to think that it's Zamasu. Well, if you watch Dragon Ball Super episode 53, there are various clues throughout that episode that can hint that Zamasu either is Goku Black or is somehow involved in the creation of Goku Black. So on this video, I'm going to take that theory, I'm going to analyze it, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and what I think could be going on. I hope you enjoy. If you are not up to date with Dragon Ball Super, I suggest that you be aware that this video will contain spoilers for Dragon Ball Super up until episode 53, so you have been warned. In Dragon Ball Super episode 53, we were introduced to the apprentice Kaioshin from Universe 10 known as Zamasu and his master Gowasu, whom we identified previously as the mysterious Green Kai in the intro of the Trunks arc of Dragon Ball Super. And up until this point, a lot of us wondered just who the hell he is, and more importantly, how does he fit into this story? Dragon Ball Super episode 53 not only introduced us to Zamasu, but also gave us some interesting new facts about the character. We know that he is an accomplished martial artist. We know that he's training to be a Kaioshin after previously being a Kaiosama. We know that he is from Universe 10, and most importantly, we know that Zamasu has a deep-rooted dislike for humans, Ningen, otherwise known as mortals. During his fight with Goku, who is a mortal, Zamasu questions why the hell gods like Beerus are interacting with mortals like Goku, and he's also questioning how the hell mortals became so strong. At the end of the episode, Beerus straight out thinks that Black is Zamasu, and during the fight with Goku, even though Goku senses Black's ki, he still thinks that Zamasu seems like a nice guy, and the keys are not identical, but they are pretty similar. So what does this mean? What are they trying to tell us? Are they trying to say that Zamasu is Black, or that Zamasu could someday become Black? Well, one of the popular theories that I've seen revolves around the fact that Zamasu, before ascending to being a Kaioshin, may have to have all of his anger and his hatred and his dislike for mortals to be dejected from his body, like what happened to Kami when he was the nameless Namekian and was going to ascend to godhood, or more recently what happened to Majin Buu when he was all angry and let out all his anger, and that the anger and the hatred would manifest itself as Black, as the demon Black, and then Black would go and steal one of the time rings and go to the future and wreak havoc and whatnot. But the theory to me that I've really been thinking about is the possibility of Zamasu actually being Black. Now, I know some folks are wondering, well, how is this even possible? And how does this actually make any sense? Well, try to follow me. Now, we know for a fact that Black hates human beings and hates mortals. He told Trunks when they first met that he has scoured the universe and that he sees mortals as being the failure of the gods, or specifically humans, Ningen, whatever you want to call it. And so it appears like Black has a deeply rooted dislike and anger for mortals. And this is why he goes to Trunks' future to wreak havoc. Now, we know from the episode when Black went back in time and followed Trunks to the past that Black is not only aware of who Lord Beerus is, but also Vegeta as well as Goku. And that's interesting. How would Black know who they are? I wonder. Let's think about this for a minute. There are various similarities between Black and Zamasu, and not just their hatred for humanity. Please take note that Goku, Beerus, and we sense that Zamasu and Black have very eerily similar ki. And in addition to that, how does Black have all this Kaioshin jewelry? The Potara, the time ring? Well, there's one theory that kind of makes sense that I thought of, and get ready to have your mind blown if I'm right. So what if Zamasu's hatred for humanity continues to grow? What if Zamasu does get promoted to the level of Kaioshin, and what if all he sees around him is destruction? What if he goes and visits, let's say, Universe 6 and realizes or hears of what happened to the Earth before it was restored by Beerus? What if Zamasu's hatred for mortals grows? And what if Zamasu decides, well, I'm never going to forget you, Son Goku, like he said at the end of Dragon Ball Super episode 53. So what if he, because he knows that he can't really take on Goku, what if he finally realizes that humanity is too sick to survive, completely lets his anger consume him, steals the time ring, and then goes into the future, and as Goku, who was dead from a heart virus in Trunks' future, of course, is about to be buried, he goes inside of Goku's body and takes it over. Now, I've seen this theory before, but now there's a lot more validity and a lot more evidence to prove that this could be the case. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering, well, wait a minute. Since when can gods take over bodies? Well, let's go back to the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai when Kami-sama, the god of Earth, took control of a human being's body to compete in the tournament and ensure that Piccolo Daimao be locked up. And thus, the concept of gods taking over humans or taking over mortals and possessing them is nothing new to Dragon Ball. It's been done before. Or maybe he just learns how to shapeshift, but I think the possession story makes sense. Now, obviously then the question would be, if he takes over dead Goku's body, why didn't he just wreck shit at that point? Maybe he knew he couldn't take on Vegeta at that time, and maybe he didn't know that 6 months later, 17 and 18 would show up to wreak havoc. So maybe he took that body and left and went to another universe and started to examine other humans and maybe grew more and more angry before using the time ring one more time to go even further in the future to see how things were like, and possibly that is when he showed up in age 796, which is a year before the Future Trunks arc began, when Trunks, Mai, and the rest of the future was first confronted face to face with Goku Black. Perhaps Zamasu was so angry at the fact that Goku, the only mortal he had ever seen interacting with gods, was even able to do that to make a mockery out of Goku, or to possibly take control of his body so that he could maybe inherit some of those Saiyan genes of getting stronger every time you fight, exploiting Zenkai boosts, or maybe even transformation. Maybe the combination of the Kaioshin and the Saiyajin together may have created this evil being called Goku Black, who seems to be getting stronger and stronger the more time goes by. Now, this theory is kind of hard to swallow because one would have to really stretch their mind and kind of try to wonder why Black didn't just do more when he was in Trunks' future, or why he would even choose Trunks' future. But you have to remember that Dragon Ball Z has 4 different timelines. So what if Zamasu, when he took the time ring, went into one of the other timelines, like the unseen timeline, and then bounced out of it and went to Trunks' timeline? That could also be a possibility as well. The one thing is, like Toriyama told us before this arc even started, is that you have to kind of go with it and kind of go with the flow for it to make sense, which is somewhat of a cop-out because it sounds like he's saying, hey, there might be some plot holes here, but just forgive me. That's what it sounds like to me. But I think this theory has some validity to it now. I think it does kind of make sense. But to me, what makes it very interesting is the fact that it essentially creates a time paradox. Because had Goku Black not shown up in the future, Trunks would have never gone back in time to tell Goku about the situation, and then Beerus, Whis, and Goku would have never met Goku Black, who followed him to the past, and then as a result of that, Beerus and Whis would have never even known that Goku Black existed, and never would have suspected that his ki is like that of Zamasu, and then gone to visit Zamasu with Goku, introducing Zamasu to Goku, and in turn creating Goku Black without even intending to, by trying to gather information about Goku Black. And then that's of course what led Zamasu to go into the future, possessing Goku's body and becoming the latest villain in Dragon Ball Super. I think that's pretty poetic writing. I think that time travel stories are kind of a pain in the ass sometimes to understand, but I think this somewhat makes sense, even though the holes there might be a few holes here and there. I think it works. So let me know what you think. After hearing this theory that I have that I'm sure you've heard before, do you think it's possible that Goku accidentally created Goku Black by meeting Zamasu, further developing that anger Zamasu has for humans, thus making Zamasu eventually go rogue and going into the future and creating this hell for all of our characters? Or do you think there's something else going on? Let me know, of course, and remember, this is just a theory, a Dragon Ball theory. I'll catch you down the road.
I've come back from the future to warn you that if you don't subscribe to Geekdom 101, your future is grim.